And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special live session. I'm Jessica, and today I have the honor of speaking with Dr. Marie Cheni, Provost of University of the People, and the 2025 recipient of the UPCEA Ray Schroeder Leadership Award. And this is a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, which recognizes bold, visionary leaders in digital learning. And we're so proud to have Dr. Cheni with us today. Let's dive in. Hello, Dr. Cheni. How are you?
Hi, Jessica. I'm great, and it's wonderful to be here.
Very nice of you to take time out of your very busy schedule to be here with me today. Thank you.
Sure.
So let's just dive in. So first of all, congratulations on receiving this incredible honor. How
Thank
exciting.
you.
What was your reaction when you found out you won the award?
Oh, I was so honored and humbled, really, because I've known Ray Schroeder my entire career practically, and I've learned so much from him. And the award has only been given to one other person so far. So when I found out that I was the second person to receive it, it was even more of an honor. And so again, just extremely, I think the most important part of it and why it was so humbling is that I've always done what I enjoyed in my career. And I've always been focused on adult and non-traditional learners and trying to help them really access higher education. So to win an award for it was like, icing on the cake, as they say.
I love that. That's what so exciting, really. You must have been so excited. So tell me, what does this recognition mean to you personally and professionally?
Yeah, good questions. So, well, let's start with professionally. Professionally, it is, I think it's a testament to, for a very long time, a subgroup of us were working on trying to help higher education become more accessible to the many, many, many students in this country and around the world that don't have easy access to higher education. Many of us in this country have gotten kind of used to the fact that if we want to get a college degree, there's a way. For many people, though, because they don't have the means or the resources or family support, it is not possible. And so professionally, especially when online and digital education became more mainstream, and even before it was mainstream, many of us saw the potential and we started really pushing in that direction and developing innovative programs. And then coming to University of the People, I have to thank my president and friend, Shira Sheff, president of University of the People, because he and I knew each other prior to my becoming provost here. And it was really an honor to come and work with him to take his vision that higher education could be accessible to more of the world if we used online education smartly. So it's really kind of an underscore of all this work has been worth it and has had a meaningful impact on our students and all the students really that have benefited from online and digital higher education. Personally, I'm just, again, honored and humbled because it's been a lot of work. And I have to give a shout out to all of my many colleagues and partners in this world through the years. I mean, I wish I could name every single one of them. There's too many to name, but you don't get an award like this by doing it all alone. And I want to really say personally, I want to thank all of those people. And most of you know who you are. Like, we've worked together closely in many institutions and across many years.
I love that. And how long have you been with University of the People?
I've been here about 3.5 years, since January of 2022.
And how long have you known President Reshef?
I always try to remember when we first met. I believe I met him in 2012. And he and I had a really nice kind of friendship, colleagueship between 2012 and 2022. So I knew him probably 10 years before I came to work for him. And we would often talk about online education and serving students and, how to do it better. So I've always enjoyed our relationship. He's a very smart, very visionary man who has really changed the world with university of the people.
Definitely. And what first drew you to the world of digital learning?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to tell you a funny story, which just shows how important it is to be open to learning new things. I love teaching, and I loved teaching when when we first started this thing called the internet and online, and like there was a time that we didn't have it. But anyway, when it started to become a thing in the 90s, I remember seeing the potential of it. Like, wow, this might be good for, again, non-traditional students that were not living in the residence halls necessarily, had other responsibilities. But I didn't think it would be good. I really didn't. I didn't think you could teach online very well. I thought that students wouldn't learn. I thought that instructors would have a much harder time. So I actually went to my dean at the time and I said, I really need to, pilot this practice and see if there's something here, because I want to be able to say it's not good and I've tried it. Well, as you might imagine, I did try it with 8 students. I had 8 volunteer students. And it was actually fantastic. The students learned, the students were very involved in this like online set of discussions. They wrote really good papers. I had them also give me feedback on what we could do better. This was way before there was any kind of like real learning management system. And it was based on that class that I went to my dean and I said, not only was I wrong, this is really good and it can be very helpful for our students, but we really should put more courses online. And then I put, it's hard to know, but I think I was involved in putting one of the first online master's programs online back in the 90s. It was a master's in leadership. Yeah, it was really exciting. So that's what drew me to it. And over time now, it's just gotten better and better. Now we have lots of research on how students learn online, et cetera. Right. So we're doing a much better job.
It's so interesting to see how much things have changed since the 90s and the progression of digital learning. What are some of the pivotal moments in your career that helped shape your leadership style?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think one of the first ones, actually, even before online education, I had a really great mentor and boss at one of my earliest small college experiences. And she empowered me and believed in me and would give me projects to work on that I didn't even know I could do. I mean, I can remember going to Molly's office and she would say, well, I want you to do, and she'd be all excited and tell me about it. And I would look at her and say, you want me to do what? Like literally I had like almost no clue. And she would walk me through it. Like she saw something in me and she really believed in me and let me make mistakes. I remember a few mistakes I made that she supported me. She never, ever tried to, throw me under the bus. So that's always stayed with me, her leadership style of being really supportive of me as a direct report. And I try to do that. I try to always, challenge my folks, my team, but trust them and be there for them when they make the inevitable. There's always going to be an error or somebody gets angry at them or something. But if they're working hard, then I want to protect and support them. So that's probably one of the key pivotal moments. And then since then, I've had the opportunity to work for, several good leaders. And I would say the main theme was empowerment, support, continuous education, putting my staff in places where they can shine and not being afraid to hire people smarter than me and more experienced, because that's what a good leader does.
It's very good insight. I want to ask one more question along the lines of, visionary leadership in your career journey. What does it mean to be a bold and visionary leader in today's higher ed landscape?
Wow, really, really good question. Things are changing so quickly, and there's so many things happening nationally, internationally. Higher education is undergoing some profound changes. I think, and I've always tried to do this, go back to your student population and find out what they really need in their education. And then put that plan together and push on their behalf. It's still risky. You still have to be visionary. You have to know what's going on. Like in this world now, we need to know about artificial intelligence. We need to know about AI and the wise use of it to enable better teaching and learning. There will be detractors. There will be people who really fight against that. But if we do it ethically and in a way that really helps the students, then it's worth going in that direction. Just like with online, there were times that we thought that, well, not me, but that some segments thought that that would be the end of higher education. It's a terrible thing. And now it's just part of what we do in higher education, and education still exists. So I think it's, taking some risks, but always doing it on behalf of your target population, the students that you're trying to serve. And I've never gone, sometimes I say I like to show you the scars, to show some of the fights I've had, but I've never regretted doing the right thing for students, and it's almost always worked out well.
Oh, it's really incredible. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
My next few questions are going to be about UO People's mission and impact.
Yes.
So my question for you is, how does your work at University of the People reflect your passion for accessible and affordable education?
Wow. I love this question because from the very beginning I came from, my dad was an Italian immigrant. We were comfortable, but we didn't have a lot of money. And so I remember when I was looking for higher education, I knew I was going to college. That was just an expected, given in my family. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to access, thank God there were smart people around me, people in my high school, et cetera. And my dad was never able to go past fourth grade. He had to quit school and actually start working for his family. And my mom got a high school degree, but nothing more than that. And they were both very bright. They would be in college, if they were around today. So for me, access to affordable, quality higher education has always been a driving value, always. And so when I got into higher education, though, I started to see how difficult it was for people who don't have a lot of money or resources or family support to actually get a degree. And so I remember seeing Shai's TED Talk, and it just impacted me profoundly. I was like, oh, here's the guy doing what I most believe in, which is let's try to get a free or extremely low cost education for people who need it, want it, deserve it. And that was really my driving force. So being able to work with him at University of the People to keep this vision going and to grow it and scale it has been, it's really been the highlight of my career.
Wow. I love that, your family background helped shape that. Where in Italy are your parents from?
My mother is actually not Italian, but you'd never know that because she, adopted it all. She was born in the U.S. Her background is Hungarian. My father, though, was born in a little town in southern Tuscany called Pitoliano. Thank you for letting me say that because it just rolls off my tongue. And by the way, if anybody's going to Tuscany anytime soon, go visit Pitoliano, Pitigliano. There are still Cenis there. They're a lot of fun. It's a beautiful town, little hilltop town. And again, a lot of the people left there prior to World War II because of the very desperate straits that people were in and came to this country for a better outcome.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your family history with us.
Sure.
And maybe you could share with us a moment at University of People that truly reminded you of the importance of the mission. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but
no, I can name very specific instances. So we have a student that was taking courses with us when she was basically in hiding in Afghanistan. studying. She had been an active college student in Afghanistan when the Taliban took over again. And when the Taliban took over again, women could not leave the house without a male escort. They had to be covered. They couldn't go to school, certainly not college. And so she began studying in the privacy of her own room, basically, at University of the People to continue her degree, and then was able to get a scholarship to start a graduate program at a local university. I won't name it because I want to keep her identity private, but in the same town where I live. And so I had this wonderful opportunity. Now I've met her twice and listened to her story. And it's just chilling to hear what she went through and the times she was threatened for being on the street. She tells the story of when she went to take a standardized exam to get into graduate school, and her family literally didn't know if she would come back at the end of the day. She made sure she got back. But we're so privileged in this country and many countries not to have to worry about our safety for the most part when we walk out of our house. But leaving her house was always terrorizing. A brother of hers had to sneak back into Afghanistan to help sneak her back out so she could go to another country and then eventually the US. So meeting her, and then she's got these aspirations that are incredible, would love to go back and really help her country once things change. It just was not that I don't know every day how important our mission is, but that really underscored it. And it made me, anytime, we're working on something difficult, I think, think of each individual student and what this education means to them and how important it is. So.
Absolutely. That story really can shake you to your core,
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. That was really
sobering.
Yeah. Okay, moving along. All emotional, moving along. The future of digital learning. Can you please tell me what trends do you see shaping the future of online education?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, online education is here to stay. It's not going away. I think most universities, and we're kind of already here, offer at least some form of a hybrid program where students can study face-to-face, but also do some of their work online. But many universities will add and have been adding fully online programs for those students who choose that modality. We're in a period now where it's not so much the modality, it's not whether it's face-to-face or online, it's how do students want to get their education, right? So pretty standard. And you're seeing this around the world too. Many countries that prior to this were not allowing online programs are now allowing online programs. So, but see, as the learning management systems and the way that we do online education improves, we're going to see a breakdown in what we call live face-to-face versus online, because now we can even do things on Zoom, right? COVID taught us that. We can meet face-to-face online, just like we do with healthcare. So it's breaking down, but you're also seeing a couple of other trends. One is this idea of stackable credentials that people, let's say you're getting an undergraduate degree, 120 credits is a lot of time. And so what people now need would be a series of credentials that they can start with that might get them a first good job. And then they can continue and finish their degree over time. The degree will always be very important. There's a lot of information in a degree that you want students to have. But then the other truly big thing, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, is AI. It is going to be part of all of our lives, and it already is. We don't even realize this. Most technology that we interact with, there is some form of AI helping to drive it. I just had to log in for a flight that I'm taking later this week. And the little pop-up chatbot came up and said, "Hi, I'm here. My name is," whatever the name was, made up a name. And I'm here 24 hours a day to answer your questions. I should be your, your go-to first, link. That's artificial intelligence. It's a chatbot. It's not a real human being, and yet they can answer so many of our questions that you can start to believe it's a human being. So that's just one example, but there will be more and better ways that AI is helping our students to learn better. And rather than be afraid of it, we should all understand that AI is really just an extension of human beings' cognitive abilities. And there are things humans can do that AI will never be able to do. There are many things AI can do that help us help our students learn better. And we all have to learn. It's time to really start to understand. We don't have to be coders or people who design the AI, products, but we have to understand what it is, just like with online education.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'd love to continue speaking about your opinion on AI, but I know you have a few minutes left, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So I just want to say thank you so much, Dr. Cheni. Your leadership truly continues to inspire all of us. And to everyone watching, thank you for being part of this special moment. Don't forget to share this conversation and follow University of the People for more insights and inspiration from leaders like Dr. Cheni, who are reshaping education around the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. It was a pleasure, and thanks to everybody out there watching. I hope you found some enjoyment and some new interesting information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great day wherever you are in the world. Bye.
Bye.